Dear applicants, welcome to our video about the entrance examination and tips and tricks for its successful completion. We would like you to meet the authors of questions in our test so they can give you some advice as how to go about the preparation and about the test itself once you're writing it. We will also show you what the test looks like, explain the marking system a bit more, and sum up all the remaining conditions. In our previous video about admission process, we already mentioned that the test consists of 4 subjects: biology, basic human anatomy, physiology, chemistry, and physics. So we will gradually work our way through these subjects and then sum up all the remaining conditions at the end. Let's start with the first 2 subjects, biology and basic human anatomy and physiology.
Hello everyone. Typically, secondary school biology syllabus aims to cover this science in its entirety, typically starting with the general and cell biology, presenting then systems such as the plants, animals, and fungi, switching to molecular biology and genetics, to conclude with other supplementary topics such as the ecology, anthropogenesis, and evolution. In our entrance exam, and this is good news, we don't require all these topics. So the topics are restricted typically only to cell and general biology, molecular biology, and genetics, with a bit of evolution. Since this scope is limited, on the other hand, we would expect from the students more thorough knowledge of the required subjects and topics, but still within the limits of the secondary school knowledge. The individual questions in biology exam are formulated in 2 ways. Firstly, first type of questions aims to test the student's knowledge of the particular phenomenon, that is, its occurrence, features, and its pertaining terminology. Thus, in a question, once the answers are shown, usually one is a straight clear, whereas others are conspicuously wrong, so it's usually not very difficult for a student to choose the right answer. Secondly, some questions aimed to test the student's analytical skills and combination skills. That is, a student is asked to choose the single best answer out of offered answers by means of comparing each answer very carefully and choosing simply the most plausible scenario. Biology is by nature a very interesting science, and usually students do not have problems with the questions in this part of the entrance exam. However, a care is to be taken that the students would understand the meaning of the question as well as the answers quite thoroughly in order to avoid unnecessary loss of points, which might be problematic, especially if we compare the biology with other subjects where the loss of the points is more often the problem. Secondary school biology syllabus may also contain something what is called the human biology, that is, elements of the structure and function of the human body. In our entrance exam, we call it basic human anatomy and physiology, that is the study of the structure and function of the human tissues, organs, and organ systems, including their regulation. Similar to biology part of the exam, questions for basic human anatomy and physiology are also formulated in 2 ways. First kind of the question tests the factual knowledge of the subject. Second kind or second type of the question tests the understanding of the subject, that is, specifically combination and analytical skills of the students. Overall, this segment of the entrance exam, that is basic human anatomy and physiology, is among the least challenging to most applicants. However, again, caution is advised because this part of the exam can also provide such a considerable number of the points for the final score.
Hello, allow to welcome you in the Department of Biochemistry. In our entrance exams, the topics are focused on elements and their compounds, chemical bonds and molecular interactions, chemical reactions, solutions and their properties including pH. Calculations cover stoichiometry, pH, concentration of solution and their dilution. A half of questions is devoted to organic chemistry and reactions in organic chemistry. It requires the knowledge of chemical structures and principles of naming. Basic heterocycles, carbohydrates, lipids, and structures of proteins and nucleic acids are included. The format of the questions is close to biology. Choosing the only correct answer from the ones offered seems to be an easier type. The second type of questions will test your combinatorial skills. Things to emphasize. Be careful when reading questions. Many mistakes stem from misread and misunderstandings. A typical example. A required type of question is hydrogenation, but you misread and misinterpret the text of question as hydration, and of course your answer will be wrong. As far as the requirements is concerned, the test of chemistry is usually taken as easier than physics and more difficult than biology, but it significantly depends on your preferences and the secondary school knowledge. Thank you for your interest and good luck for tests.
Welcome in the Simulation Center of Medical Faculty in Hradec, where our students practice first steps in clinical examination and training. Let me introduce myself. My name is Josef Hanuš, and I'm author of physical part of admission test. First of all, I would like to say that the physics, and especially physical thinking, is very useful and important part of medical study. There are two reasons of this. First of all physical principles and laws are valid for the nature, but we can apply it, of course, also for the human body as a very complicated example of living systems. I have only two examples. For instance, of Ohm's law. Everybody knows Ohm's law from electricity, but we can apply it, for instance, for the calculation of vascular resistance. The same situation is Bernoulli equation from the high school physics. We can apply it for the calculation of the work of heart. Physically, heart means only the pump, which pumps the blood. When you visit the hospital examination rooms, you can see around many complicated devices. And good physician should know the principle of function of these devices, physical principle, because this physician must decide the best treatment for the patient, best impact for the patient, but he must know also where is the limit of this method and what are the side effects of this method. Nothing is only black and white. Again, one example. Everybody knows that ionizing radiation has a negative effect to the living system, but we very often use it for examination of inner structures in human body. And in this case, it's clear that we use the positive effect. It means penetration ability of ionizing radiation, and we minimize the negative effect. On the opposite side, we use also the negative effect of ionizing radiation. In this case, it is for the treatment of the cancer, when it is necessary to destroy all cancer cells. And now back to the physics, to the admission test. The most important information for you is that all questions from physics are in the form of problems for calculation. It is the reason why it seems that the physics is so difficult. Students must know not only the theory, but they must show that they understand the principle, that they are able to apply it in practice. These problems it's necessary to solve in several steps. The first step is to read carefully the task and to find the formula or combination of formulas which is necessary to use. Second step is to derive or to express unknown physical quantity from these formulas. In this moment, you must know also the mathematics, operation in mathematics. It means functions, exponential function, logarithmic function, trigonometric functions, and so on. The next step is that you must be able to substitute correct values in correct units to these formulas. It means you must know what is the unit of given physical quantity, what is the definition of given physical quantity, and sometimes it could be the problem. For instance, in case of energy, we have several units. We use joules or electron volts in case of elementary particles. In case of temperature, we use degrees of Celsius, kelvins, and you must know the relation between these units. It's very, very important. And the last step is, of course, the calculation of the result. You must be very familiar with your calculator, because you must be able to use degrees and or radians. You must be able to calculate with decimal logarithm, natural logarithm, and so on. In case of calculation, it's very important to use only the values which are given in the head of the test, because we need to find the result value. We offer you in the test 5 values and only one of them is the result 1. It is very important to practice it, to try it, to calculate something, to practice the calculator problems. It's very, very important. It's not enough, how I said, to study only the theory. You must have the practice with calculation. It's enough what I wanted to say. Thank you for your time and good luck.
Hello again. Let's sum it all up, shall we? You can easily find the example test on our webpage if you go to the section for applicants, admission process, an example test and recommended literature. Here you can see what the questions look like and the way they are phrased. And here you can find all the important topics and recommended literature. And if you go to the section named Entrance Procedure, you will find all the conditions for the entrance examination itself. The important things to remember are that there is only one correct answer for each question, and there is negative marking. So you will get 1 point for a correct answer, lose quarter of a point for an incorrect one, and if you don't answer the question at all, it means 0 points. So it doesn't really pan out to tip. Rather, think your answers through carefully, and if you're unsure, just leave them unanswered. All you will need is just a calculator. No tables, no additional papers, no phones are allowed. You will get all you need for the test from us. The overall score of the test is decisive. Therefore, if your biology is strong, but you feel like you haven't done so well in physics, you don't have to worry just yet. The score from all the 4 subjects will be counted together, and based on your score, we will send you the decision of admission. So this was all for our entrance examination video. Hopefully it will help you with the preparation and the test itself. If you still want to know more, just check out our other videos for general medicine and dentistry study programs. And thank you for watching. See you soon.